Advancements in technology shape our everyday lives in the business landscape, emphasizing the importance of the raw materials that power these innovations. Crucial to everything from our economies to our defense systems, critical minerals are foundational to our modern capabilities. Remarkably, Africa contains about 30% of the planet's reserves of these essential resources. Eager to leverage these assets, the United States is making strategic moves to access them. However, they are not alone in this pursuit, as China has established a strong foothold, having secured extensive mining rights and constructed significant infrastructure across Africa to extract these valuable minerals for the past decade. Today, China leads the global industry in extracting, refining, and processing these vital resources. It is far ahead of its global competitors. Despite this, the urgent need for these minerals has spurred the United States to devise strategies to reclaim a foothold in Africa's mineral wealth. They've committed hundreds of millions of dollars to rejuvenate a massive railway network that penetrates deep into the mineral-rich heart of Africa, known as the Lobito Corridor. However, this region isn't just abundant in resources like copper, gold, and cobalt. It's also fraught with conflict, disease, and turmoil, making it a challenging environment for such ventures. Meanwhile, China is also advancing its interests in the region. It is negotiating to take control of the Tazara Railway, which would facilitate the transport of these minerals directly from Africa to markets in the Asia-Pacific, potentially bypassing Western competitors. Both the United States and China recognize that they cannot afford to operate in Africa as they might elsewhere, without considering local dynamics. Missteps could derail their efforts entirely, turning strategic economic corridors into proverbial train wrecks. The geopolitical stakes are high, as these minerals are not just commodities but are critical for high-tech industries including those producing electric vehicles, wind turbines, and advanced weaponry. This struggle for resources is part of a broader tussle for influence between the US and China on the African continent. In light of these dynamics, the US has pledged substantial funds to restore and modernize the Lobito Corridor, a key trade route running from the Atlantic coast deep into Africa. This railway line, initially constructed by colonial powers in the early 20th century and damaged during Angola's civil war, is seen as vital infrastructure for transporting minerals from the continent's interior to global markets. Africa's mineral wealth isn't evenly distributed but is concentrated in a mineral belt, stretching from the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, to South Africa, densely packed with mining operations. This region is extraordinarily rich in critical minerals but is hampered by poor infrastructure and difficult terrain that makes access challenging. For instance, vast swaths of rainforest separate mining regions in the DRC from the country's capital, leading to significant governance challenges and local power brokers often operating with significant autonomy. The U.S. interest is particularly focused on the Katanga region of the DRC, the world's largest source of cobalt, and on Zambia, a major copper producer. To access these resources, President Biden has pledged significant investment to refurbish the Lobito Corridor, complemented by private investments and substantial financial contributions from international development banks. The U.S. strategy isn't merely about extracting minerals but envisions transforming the Lobito Corridor into a thriving economic zone that can stimulate business development and broader economic activity in the region. This vision includes not only refurbishing transport links but also enhancing local processing and refining capabilities, potentially leading to new urban developments along these corridors. This approach by the U.S. is part of a broader effort to engage more constructively with African nations at a time when China's economic influence on the continent is at an all-time high. Through initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative, China has already invested significantly in African infrastructure, gaining considerable leverage over local economies and resource flows. As this modern-day scramble for Africa's resources unfolds, it's clear that both the US and China need to tread carefully. Their strategies and investments could significantly impact African nations, either paving the way for a new era of prosperity and partnership or leading to new forms of dependency and intervention. In conclusion, the battle over Africa's mineral resources is a high-stakes game of geopolitical chess that will require careful strategy, respect for local dynamics, and a long-term commitment to sustainable development. This contest will not only shape the futures of the US and China but also the trajectory of African development. As we continue to cover these unfolding events, stay tuned for more insights, and don't forget to engage with us in the comments section below. Your perspectives enrich our discussions. Thank you for tuning into this deep dive on MediaStrive. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the latest in global geopolitics.